All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. It is the player ratings and review portion of the show where I talk to you about the Arsenal versus Leicester game, and more importantly, I talk to you about what I feel about the game and the player ratings. So it'd be weird doing this without Lee because I usually do this part with Lee as well. I've done this by myself before, but it's not for a while, I must admit. Just to give you guys an idea of how long ago it was since I last did this. The last time I did this by myself, it was probably when I used to do watch-alongs by myself. So yeah, I'm one of the originators of that watch-along thing. Don't worry about that. But anyway, I hope you guys are all well. Please do me a favor, slap a like on this video, first and foremost. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I am 550 odd. No, 545 actually, away from 10,000 subscribers. So that would be really great if you can help me get there. And let's just talk about the game. Now, there's a reason I didn't say much during the game because I was pissed. I was pissed because I knew it was going to happen. I knew the fact that we didn't score in the first half meant that Brendan Rodgers will get them in at halftime, tweak them, make them be more competitive, and ultimately win the game. Now, that's pretty much what happened. I thought the first half, funny enough, was probably the best first half I've seen Arsenal play this season. Not only this season, excuse me, I'm trying not to burp. Not only this season, I would go as far as to say probably since Mikel Arteta's been in charge. I thought we looked fantastic. From top to bottom, I thought we looked fantastic. I thought we looked powerful. I thought we looked ready. We looked like we're controlling the game. We looked competitive. We looked creative. We looked like we just needed to tweak that final third passing a little bit. But actually, overall, I thought the passing looked crisp. Everyone looked like they were playing for each other. Everyone looked like they were in the mood to slap Leicester. It wasn't a case of beat Leicester. They were in the mood to slap Leicester, you know? And then all the while, I'm sat there and chance after chance is going by. And I'm like, oh no. And, I think I just said, this is the sort of game where Arsenal just lose chance after chance after chance. And then they suffer and they get beaten for it. And that's pretty much what happened. After every chance that went by, eventually it became halftime. And in that situation, you probably have 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes at most to try and make your point from the first half. Because if you don't, you would think that their retweak will happen and kick in more or less straight away. And that's more or less what happened. Leicester were able to weather the first 15 minutes. And then it was all Leicester. If we're being real, it was all Leicester. They brought on Vardy. Vardy came on and immediately scored. And fair play to Lee, he called it. He said Vardy will come on and score. That's exactly what happened. I don't know. For me, I just thought it was just annoying. I actually thought Gabriel had a largely good game, but the last 15 minutes or so got real sloppy with his passing. And I think that was indicative of a lot of that back line. But anyway, that's kind of what I think in a nutshell. I just think with Mikel Arteta, I'm slowly tapping out, man. I'll be real with you. I'm slowly tapping out. I don't see this team improving. In fact, actually, what worries me more is that I see him making a lot of mistakes. And I get it, no manager is ever going to pick a team that I think is exactly ideal. But there's so many questions that are over our current team and the sort of teams that he picks. I do wonder what goes through his mind. Now, don't get me wrong, I thought Hector Bellerin played all right today. I did. I thought he played pretty well today. But it's like I noticed there's certain things that I'm wondering, what's going on? Like, for example, I don't see Ainsley Maitland-Niles playing a lot of games. I don't see, for example, why William Saliba is not playing games. You know, I don't see, there are certain things, I don't see why more youngsters are not given chances. It's not like the olders are performing so well that the youngsters shouldn't get chances. It's just because you don't know what to do with them. You don't know what to do with these youngsters. And that to me is becoming very apparent that he doesn't seem to know, in my personal opinion, that is, he doesn't seem to know how to develop these youngsters to make them as impactful as possible. And that to me is a big concern because, you know, one of our ethoses has always been to work with youngsters and to try and develop them and nurture them. So it's an ethos I like, it's an ethos that I think does as well. And I think when you have two potential superstars in your Sakas and your Martinellis, focusing on youngsters wouldn't be such a bad thing. Seems like Arteta ignores them. And that worries me a little bit because if you look at Leicester today, they've got a perfect blend of youngsters and experience. And the one thing I will say also is that they don't waste the experience on the left-hand wing. They leave him up top. They leave him up top. Just like when you bring Aguero back from injury, you leave Aguero up top. You don't ask Aguero to go and play on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. So, people are going to say the comment that I've just seen in the chat, oh, we need Ozil. Oh, yeah, because he's made such a huge difference over the last 18 months. Well, for me, this isn't necessarily a creative problem. This is more a Mikel Arteta doesn't know how to switch it up problem. A good example is I would argue that Liverpool don't have a number 10. And for me, it doesn't stop Liverpool doing their thing. Some people say that's Firmino, but, you know, he's not a typical number 10. So I also think that's nonsense as well. So I don't know. I'm so exhausted by the Arsenal situation. You just think to yourself, all right, cool. Maybe one day it'll get better. Maybe one day it'll get better. But we actually lost. Here's Leicester. So the amount of pressure that now puts on us going to United, a place where, like historically and psychologically, no matter what we can do, we never seem to be able to win at this place. It's so, again, frustrating. But I don't know, with Mikel Arteta, I think I would like to see some pressure on him. I'd like to see him start making some correct decisions. I'd like to see him scrutinize his own decision-making before then popping out and then declaring whether or not, declaring through performance whether or not he's ready. You know, I'm sick of having the same argument with people. Oh, well, Chig, you don't know what is happening in training. All right, I know what's happening in front of my eyes, though. And this team is severely underperforming. But anyway, I digress. These are my thoughts resulting from the game. I'm going to go into player ratings. Now, obviously, because without Lee, and if you're like Alex Arsenal, you don't know what's happened to Lee. I told you what happened to Lee in a watch-along, so you're going to have to look back at that. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with player ratings. You guys play along with the player ratings as well. So don't just be there disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing. You know, especially without Lee here, I'm also going to be interacting with you lot a lot more. So put your mark up. I'll explain why I've given the mark I've given, and then we can go from there. All right. Big up to Pramod for the donation. He says that Lee Arsenal is the new, I don't know why he's saying Lee, but okay. Lee Arsenal is the new Burnley. I see Arteta having the same flaws as Pep. No plan B. Play long balls and hoping for the best. See, and that is not a bad point, although it's dressed to Lee for some weird reason. For me, that's what's, I guess, the most concerning. You know, it's all well and good if your plan A works most of the time, and then on one particular occasion it doesn't work, and instead, it doesn't work, and instead you don't have a plan B to solve it. I would argue Pep's plan A most of the time is going to work. My worry is our plan ain't working nearly enough for us to not have a backup plan. That's the concern to me. So yeah, I think that's a good point from Pramod there. Did I just have a new member? I did. The Arsenal knock. Big up to you for becoming a new member. Speaking of which, because people keep asking me when my member streams are. Now, normally they are on a Sunday evening, but given that we've had a game today, I'm going to try and do a membership stream on Monday. I really want to do it as soon as that because I want to talk about Mesut Ozil. I want to talk about Arsenal in general and their role in that Mesut Ozil situation, and a couple of other bits and bobs. So, yes, I'm going to try and make it Monday, hopefully about 7 p.m., barring any work or anything like that. So it should be that. But thank you. Welcome, my brother. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's go with Bert Leno up top. Now, I got a lot of criticism. Oh, my goodness. I got a lot of criticism for daring to question Bert Leno. I'm not going to act like Bert Leno did anything wrong today. I don't think he did anything wrong for the goal per se. He was bored for most of it. We were so in control of that game. For most of that game, he had nothing to do. Now, there's some people that said that he should have saved the header or whatever, but I think you're being extremely harsh if you say that. So for me, I'm going to go with a 5. I honestly don't think he did much wrong. I'd be hating if I said otherwise. Okay, let's go with Hector Bellerin. I must admit, I thought Lee was a little more gassed on Hector Bellerin's performance than I was. Lee kept going on about how well he was playing. I thought he played all right. I don't think he was especially amazing. The only thing I would say is he looked like he was giving more effort. I will say that, like the effort-wise, I do think the effort was there. But to me, quality-wise, it was just the same old shit. I'll give Hector Bellerin a 5 out of 10 as well. I don't think he was, again, amazing, but it was what it is. Congratulations. If you are a Leicester fan, enjoy it. I know it's the first time Arsenal have lost to Leicester at home since 1973. So, yeah, it is what it is. And apparently, Awar got an assist tonight, just to make you feel a bit better. There you go. Okay. So, yeah, I think Hector Bellerin, I'm going to give him a 5. David Luiz, I thought David Luiz had a fantastic first half. Very, very good. Was very aggressive in the stepping up and the tackles and even actually reading the game. Like, who knew he could actually read the game? I thought he was playing really well. There was definitely, obviously, he got himself injured in the end. But actually, I thought up until his injury, he played really well. And funny enough, you know, when you look at the way the goal went in, it went in on Mustafi's side, which would have been David Luiz's side. I'd like to think, and I never thought I'd say this, that David Luiz actually would have dealt with that better. He would have been more switched on for sure. So, with that being said, I'm going to give David Luiz a 6 out of 10. I thought it was really good for him, and should have had an opportunity to close out the game, but he didn't. Okay, let's go with Gabriel. For 75% of this game, I thought Gabriel was a 10 out of 10. And then towards the end of the game, started giving away a couple of stupid, rash passes that I would have liked for Gabriel to just take a couple of seconds of composure about and really think about how he wants to pass it, where he wants to pass it to. Uh, I can't. I feel like I should give him an 8, but then again, we lost the game. I'm really feeling like, yeah, you want to give him an 8? I'm going to give him an 8 because it's probably my man of the match. But to me, towards the end, I thought he'd start again. Do you know what? I'm going to give him a 7. At the end, it wasn't just one pass. It was like 3 or 4 passes towards the end where I was like, bruh. And then one of them actually put us under real problems. So I'm going to give Gabriel a 7. Left-hand side, Kieran Tierney. Again, I thought first half was excellent. Was I think he was really taking advantage of the fact that he was able to actually attack the ball and float in some beautiful crosses, were 2 of which Lacazette should have scored, 1 of which Aubameyang should have scored. And I thought showed some real dynamism. My worry is that we're going to take so long to sack Arteta that in the meantime, you have people like superstars interested in their sackers. You've got Aubameyang a couple more years older. You've got, some youngsters who are supposed to be coming through who are ready to join other people. And that's where it worries me. But yeah, anyway, I digress. I'm going to go with Kieran Tierney. I'm going to go with a 6. In the middle, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. I actually thought Granit Xhaka was all right. I thought it was okay. The only thing I would say with Xhaka, I actually thought offensively he was quite good. Defensively, still where he overstretches sometimes, will miss a place or pass. But there were a couple of times he made some key interceptions, which I thought were really good and worked quite well in tandem with Partey. But then again, as the game progressed, I thought it got more and more worse. I'm going to give Granit Xhaka a 4 out of 10. I'm going to give Thomas Partey. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he was all right. I thought he was, again, first half, I thought was fantastic. Bossing that midfield. If we're being real, bossing that midfield. And then just slowed down a little bit. Don't know why that was. He was another one that they kept doing a lot of close-ups to, like he wasn't feeling well. I'm going to go Thomas Partey a 6. Front 3. Bukayo Saka, I did not think was anywhere near as bad as you lot were talking about. Actually, he was another one where whenever they got the ball, it looked like something was going to happen, or he was trying to make something happen. I think he works really well with Aubameyang. I think he also works really well with Kieran Tierney, which is another reason why, if I'm running the 2 types of businesses, there's no way I'd have them separate from each other. There's no way. I just think, him and Saka work really well. I think him, Saka, and Uber have the potential to work really well. Why would you have them separate in any type of way? Having like Saka on the right hand side, I still think Saka can do a number 10 role at number 10. I would love us to be that brave, but again, it requires Mikel Arteta to drop his tried and tested notebook and try something a little bit more innovative. Whether that will happen or not is another question. But yes, can't remember what I was saying. So yeah, let's go on to Aubameyang. I liked Aubameyang's work rate. He dropped deep a couple of times. Really tried to make things happen. I'm going to give Aubameyang a 6 out of 10. Again, I thought a lot of his good work was in the first half. Slowed down a lot in the second half. I'm going to give him a 6 for sure. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. Let's go with the subs. Sub-wise, let's talk about Pepe. Pepe sub-wise, I don't think did much, to be honest. And I'll give Pepe a 3 out of 10. I'm going 3 out of 10 on the last basis, which is of all subs start at 0, not all subs starting at 5. just so you guys know. Sorry, I'm just checking who came on as a sub. Squadron Mustafi, I thought was a 1. Looked unfit. Don't really blame him. He's been out for a long time. And actually, I thought was more or less his fault that Leno was so far out of position in the first place. So I give Mustafi a 1. Is there anything else? Oh, we only made 2 subs. Flipping heck. So yeah. Oh no, and Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah, I'll give a 2 to, because I do remember one effort that he had in the second half. In terms of Mikel Arteta and the rating I give Mikel Arteta, I'm going to give him a 3. I actually didn't mind the starting lineup, but my biggest problem with Mikel Arteta is he doesn't know how to react. He doesn't know how to react to things that are on the screen or that is happening in front of us. Tactically, he seems very naive. Lacazette for me could have come off any time in the second half. I thought he was that poor, and apparently to a lot of people they thought he was that poor. So we should have done that. I feel like again, what has happened to these youngsters? Like, what's the problem? Like, these are things I would love to know. So yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Leave it in the chat room. And I will obviously have a read over that and respond as and when I can. Like I said to you earlier, I'll be doing a member stream on Monday where we'll be talking this game, Mesut Ozil, all things Mesut Ozil. He was tweeting up a storm again today. So we'll talk about that again as well. And a couple of other little tidbits. Hopefully that should be around 7 p.m. tomorrow. It won't be for very long. It'll be for an hour. And we'll have a couple of different faces on there if possible. That's pretty much that, is it? Have I missed anything? Hit that subscribe button, almost to 10K. Hit that membership button if you want to join in on tomorrow's membership stream. Again, once again, to Carter and to Stephen, your autobiographies have gone out now. So those should be with you very, very soon if they're not with you already. So that's just one of the giveaways I had last week for my members, guys. So being a member is very, very much worth it. Make sure you do catch me on the flip side. All right, I think that is pretty much it. I think I've covered all bases now. So I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy your evening. Arsenal lost. They were outfoxed. But weirdly, taking a little bit of encouragement from that. Just to show you it's possible that I still can. What do you guys think?